Alright, I got some winter running tips for you today. I got 6 total. First one is shorten your stride. Shortening your stride allows you to get better footing on the surface you're running on. It gets you a better feel for that surface you're running on. Uh, you're going to be on that surface a lot better, so if you would happen to slip, you're already taking that next step. So you're not going to be slipping and sliding as much. What I tell people about being on that surface less is, picture you're driving and you hit a sheet of ice. You know, you hit that gas, what's going to happen when you hit the gas? Your tire's going to start spinning, you're going to end up going in the ditch. Whereas if you let off the gas and you just barely hit it, ease into it, you're going to get that traction a lot better. So that's why shortening your stride is also important, because you're not pushing off as much as you would with as much pressure if you had that longer stride that you do in the spring and summer. Number 2 is, don't worry about pace as much in the wintertime. You're going to be slower no matter what you do in the winter. You know, you got the colder air, you got more clothes on, the conditions of the surface you're running on are all going to be bad. So your pace is going to slow no matter what. So get it out of your head that, you know, you might be running 30 to 40 seconds or even a minute or two slower in that same route per mile than you did in the spring and summer. But again, with more clothes on, the cold air, and the conditions, you know, you have no choice but to run slower to be safe. If you go and you try to PR on an icy route, what's going to happen? You're going to end up slipping, you're going to get hurt, and then you're not going to be able to train. So that just throw that pace out the window when it comes to winter training. Number 3, read road surfaces. You got to learn how to read the different road surfaces and how to run on each one. You got slush, ice, fresh powder, thick sheets of snow. Each one takes a different skill and ability and practice to do. It's hard to explain in a short video, but once you learn how to and practice a little bit on each surface, you'll be able to run with no problem on any type of winter conditions. Number 4 is actually get a pair of trail shoes. Trail shoes let you grip surfaces so much easier in the wintertime. You know, it doesn't matter if it just looks a little bit wet. You know, maybe the plow truck came and it just leaves little chunks of snow or ice, salt, little rocks, stuff like that on the road still. Well, if you use normal road shoes, they're going to get eaten alive just by the different granules in the surface. Whereas trail shoes, they don't disintegrate as much in the wintertime as a normal road shoe. Plus, trail shoes are generally a little bit warmer for your feet, just because they got that little bit of I don't know, say more harder material and like in the toes and stuff. They're not as breathable as a normal road shoe, so they do keep your feet a little bit warmer. Next one is screws and shoes. I tell people screws and shoes are actually a bad idea. I know tons and tons of people say, oh, they work, they're so great for gripping and whatnot. Just picture this. Shoes, well, we'll just go back to the whole trail thing too. With screws, wherever you put a screw on your shoe, that's the point of contact your shoe's going to have with the road. So we'll just say my hand is the road or trail surface you're running on, and my fingers are the screws. You know, those are your points of contact. Since it's a harder surface, those are the only points you're going to have in contact with that surface, unless again it's big sheets of ice or snow. Now, a trail shoe, you got all the points of contact, and the shoe actually allows it to grip around it. It's better if I use the back of my hand. So the top of my hand is the normal shoe. It grips the surface a lot better than screws would. You got screws, only got, again, the only points of contact you're going to have are where you put the screws in at. Whereas a shoe, it might have like 40 or 50 different points of contact, but it also wraps around like that surface a little bit more so with a trail shoe. The next one, the last one for the time being, is concentrate on your feet. When you're running in the winter, you want to pay attention to how your feet feel on that surface. That way you could adjust. Maybe you did just slip a little bit. So if you're concentrating on your feet, you could adjust, maybe do take a little bit longer step the next time to avoid that little icy spot that you just hit, or shorten it up a little bit more, or quicken your feet up a little bit. If you concentrate on your feet, you'll know how to run on that particular surface, and it goes with, shortening your stride and your pace as well. But to me, the two that you have to worry about the most are shortening your stride so you don't slip, and throwing out the pace, because I know a lot of people concentrate on that and it becomes a mental drain on you. So I hope you enjoyed those quick little tips for running in the winter, and I hope to see you out there.